Welcome to Football Manager 2017, my Wigan game in 2034. This is the English Football League Cup, and I'm away to Brighton in the second round. I'm currently first in the Championship, they're about 19th in the Championship, so if you could go on that form, then I would feel I have a chance. However, one really can't go on that form, although the Brighton team has changed significantly since the start of the season. As I mentioned, I think in the last episode, they've got rid of at least 19 players so far. And Wigan have never won in a match against Brighton, apparently. Lost 11 and drawn 6 out of 17 matches. So this will be overturning history. Again, same team that I started the last couple of matches is starting this match. I'm starting to have a bit of faith in Mr. Wilson, so he might make another appearance off the bench. Although he is a little tired, admittedly. Yes, he's physically not really all there, but there again, he's just played an under-23s match. Because there was an under-23 match yesterday, then there's one tomorrow which he's down to playing. There's a bunch of my players that played in the under-23s to try and get some match sharpness back. However, that's beside the point, really. This is the same team that started the last game, going out there to take on the mighty Brighton. The exotic places people get to travel, from Wigan to Brighton. Another place I've been, but fortunately haven't lived in, although a friend of mine lived there for a couple of years. He enjoyed it. Really, I didn't see what the attraction was, but he said it was nice, so fair play to him. Nobody fancies us to pull off an upset. I'll go out there and impress me. Oh yes, I'm away from home as well. Nice stadium. A nice looking stadium. It's the League Cup. Oh. They've chosen to play in black, whereas me, the away team, gets to stick in my standard blue and white stripes. Okay, I'm just trying to figure out which direction the ball's going then. Yes, I'm also currently scouting a load of free transfer English kids. I've found a couple of goalkeepers that are worth investigating further, and possibly an attacking midfielder. And once I finish with the massive scouting I'm doing there, then I'm going to really start concentrating on my right back position, because Harwood is now top of my list of priorities as the next player to replace. And if I can get any money for him in the January transfer window, I might try and replace him then. Although I have just had my transfer budget, the amount of money I retain, or percentage of money I retain, slashed in half. I now only retain 35% of any money I bring in, due to the club's financial position. In fact, we're racking up debt. Oh, that's a good ball. Good save, Kennett, because that was a good through ball and a pretty good shot from it, to be honest. Again, I can have no real complaints. I didn't expect my side to do anything but have a hard time playing against this level of opposition. And we've exceeded expectations so far this season. He's offside. Yeah, even I could tell he was offside. And I'm biased. I was surprised the referee didn't call back play to give me the free kick from my man who was hacked down just before that ball was played. I'll take a corner. It won't go very far, I know, because my corner taking is iffy. I might have to do something about what we're doing with corners, because it doesn't seem to be working. And I don't know why, but for a second then I thought I was losing. Probably because that shot by, I think it was Blake or Brown, I forget whom. I thought it should have gone in. I didn't think Kennett should have been able to save it, but so in my mind I'm 1-0 down, even though that's not technically true. It's amazing how your mind plays games on you, even when you're actually looking at the screen and it says at the top 0-0. Your mind is telling you something is different, and your mind tends to be believed over your eyes. How and why, I have no idea. That's a lesson for psychologists to work on. Oh, nice tackle, Obi. Yes, you're probably going to end up being frequently referred to as Obi-Wan, just like I did at the beginning of the game. I haven't made comments like Obi-Wan, may the Force be with you yet, but I'm sure that'll be coming at some point. I don't think I've got a player with the first name Luke, so I can't pretend to be Obi-Wan saying, use the Force, Luke. But I don't need to do things like that when I've got Wedderburn up front doing things like that. He really may well be the... Oops, that was close to being offside. He really may well be the signing of the year for this division. Or bargain of the year, whatever they want to call it, because at £1 million, for his rate of return for goals he's got for me already, it is impressive. And to be honest, I think he's got a release clause in his contract, because it's the only way I could get him to sign. So I will be hard pressed to keep him past January, to be honest, if he keeps this up. Whoa, great strike, Chamberlain. That's the thing with Chamberlain, you know he can do stuff like that, yet 8 times out of 10 the ball will go flying all over the place and nowhere near the goal. And you get frustrated, and then he does something like that, and you're looking at it thinking, okay, where's this ball going to go? And straight in the top corner. Well, not exactly a dominant performance, but... Oh, before I did the team talk, right. Oh no, I was going to put you on, but then I realised you were unfit. In which case, just tell them to keep it going. This is a League Cup game, and my board's expectations for Wigan in the League Cup was to reach the second round. So I have already achieved my board's expectations in this cup. Now it's a matter of whether or not I can exceed my board's expectations. And according to my backroom staff, they keep recommending that I look at various goalkeepers they keep pointing out to me, because they keep telling me I need more strength, or I need an improvement in goal. Whereas I'm looking at it upon, maybe I do, maybe I don't. However, at this point, Kennett still has my faith, because he's done a significantly better job than I originally expected. And he's continued to do a significantly better job than I was expecting. So I'm not going to throw a man under the bus just because my backroom staff decide they want a different player there. I will look at long-term replacements for him, but I'm certainly not looking at short-term replacements for Kennett, because he has my faith. and he deserves my faith and loyalty. He has done his job and done it well, and he hasn't done anything to upset me. And I still remember, there's a completely, it's tangentially related, slightly different subject however. I was at a team bonding meeting stupid thing, and we were asked to give suggestions of what we wanted from colleagues, so what we should expect from colleagues, and everybody's going around, well, they should be friendly, they should be nice, they should be helpful, and they got to me and my response was they should be professional. That's all I expect from colleagues. It's nice if I like you, it's nice if I'm happy working with you and I think of you as a friend, but as far as I'm concerned, if I work with you, all I want is you to be able to do your job competently. I'm not expecting brilliance, but I do expect competence and professionalism. And I think people were stunned. Well, I'm working in America, they're all touchy-feely about crap anyway. I think they were stunned by how I could be so British and so cold about things, but just like players in this game, I expect them to be competent. I don't always expect brilliance. It'd be nice when brilliance does turn up, like if Turner had actually put that in the back of the net. But Americans all seem to want to be nice and friendly, and so everything should be absolutely wonderful. As far as I'm concerned, it's a job, you're paying me for it. I want to work with people who are competent and professional. If they can go beyond that, great. If they can't, that's fine. And it seems to shock Americans that I am that dispassionate about such things. And I'm the same with, well, players in this game. If you do a competent professional job, then I will retain you, I will give you pay rises and contracts, extend contracts, and so try and get you records if you're close to them. If, however, you are frequently inconsistent, don't do your job, or you bitch and moan at me about stuff which is none of your concern, the odds are you're not going to last very long in one of my teams. And yes, in regard to the actual real life thing, it sounds a lot colder than it actually is, because I am friends with a lot of my colleagues, and have been for years, and it hurts when I lose them, or when they lose their jobs and I'm no longer working with them, some of which I remain in contact with to this day. But I have worked with people that I couldn't stand to be in the same room as if I wasn't working with them, and I've worked with them very, very well. We've got the job done very, very professionally. Because it's work, it's not designed to be fun and the be-all and end-all of your life. And I always find it surprising when people in companies want you to be all touchy-feely and lovey-dovey and all care about each other. It's a job, you have to pay me for it, otherwise I wouldn't be doing it. And the odds are, as it's a job, it's probably not that enjoyable to do, because there's another complete aside. You hear about all the sexualisation of young girls in today's society, and people always come up with the argument, well, no, they're dressing like prostitutes, and no girl goes up wanting to be a whore. And my response to that is normally, well, nobody who's a kid is their ambition to work 8 or 9 hours a day in a cubicle in an office staring at a screen doing something useless. But that's the reality of it for most of us. We're going to end up doing something we don't enjoy. We're not going to be astronauts or fighter pilots or, I don't know, computer game designers. Even that's not exactly always fun. It can be. Also, just because no kid ever dreams of something as their dream job doesn't mean that it's a bad thing when it actually happens. We all have to live and eat to survive. We all like having roof over our heads and some clothes and toys to play with. So we shouldn't all... And there was a great rant by David Mitchell, the British comedian, on this, about customer service in Britain. If you have to be happy when you're doing a shit job in customer service, excuse the language, then either you're an idiot or a moron. If you're doing what is a generally lousy, horrible, absolutely no fun job, and you're walking around with a stupid grin plastered on your face, then there's something wrong with you. And I'm the same if you're working in an office doing a boring job, day in, day out. If you're walking around with a grin on your face, you're either high or you're stupid. Anyway, I'll stop ranting now. I only got onto that because it all started because of Lee Harwood and the fact he won't sign a contract with me for a reasonable sum. But now 3-0 up thanks to another Wedderburn goal. And I'm strolling on my way to the third round of the English Football League Cup, which exceeds the club's expectations and hopefully will be financially beneficial to me. Because the club needs the money, and I need the club to get the money so I can go out and get better players. Well, that's a good ball. Is that from Obi? Turner's got no... Oh, he's found someone to pull it back to. He didn't think he'd have a chance to pull that back. So now this really is the demolition of Brighton. Oh, well struck by Chamberlain there. Really swung his leg at that one. Yes, my team is... They're all struggling for a bit of fitness or condition at this point. Oh, okay. I thought it was Richard James. I was thinking, who's that? Then I remembered, okay, I do have a James in my defence. I haven't got used to Perez, Riley and James being the core of my defence. Mainly because they probably haven't made... They've made few mistakes. But I wouldn't say they haven't made any. I know Perez has made a couple. He's the one on loan, I think. Yes, he's the one on loan. So, but beyond that, I tend to forget about my central defence when they're not making mistakes. Because I just take them for granted. Well, I give them the greatest praise I possibly can, and what do I get? Very little by way of response. But, oh, Chamberlain, man of the match. I did score 2 goals, fair enough. That was the second round of the English Football League Cup. Let's face it. Man City, okay, Huddersfield and Stoke are a bit of a change, but Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool and Tottenham, 4 of the winners in the last 6 years. Yeah, you can still see which clubs dominate in the English Premier League and English football. And we were led by the superb Chamberlain. Well, at least his first name's not Neville. That really would be unfortunate. The League Cup draw is a day away. But that's going to be it for this one. As I say, okay, it's gone down a bit now. I'm now only £424,853 in debt, whereas I was £472,000 a couple of weeks ago. So apparently I'm making a little bit of money, thankfully. Yes, I've lost more than 3 million this year, mainly in transfers. I spent a lot of money. Well, I spent a large amount of my transfer budget. Original budget was 5.44 million. Now it's just over 4 million. So I spent approximately 5 million apparently. Seems a bit off, but yeah, Maybe I'll go back and check that at some point. Anyway, that's going to be it for this one. As always, I hope you enjoyed, or at least tolerated my rant in the middle of it. And hopefully I will see you down the road.